Hi, my Sagittarius friends. Welcome to your monthly reading for November 2024. This will be a Western tropical astrology reading using whole sign houses. And it will be best if Sagittarius is your rising sign. If Sagittarius is your sun sign, that could work too, but it's not going to be as accurate as Sagittarius rising. The month is going to start out with quite a bang. It's going to be there's going to be a Scorpio new moon on the 1st, and on the same day Pluto is going to be opposing Mars, and that can cause a lot of problems. This is probably one of the most negative aspects of the month, and for the next few months, really, because this aspect is going to kind of stay with us until April, because of Mars retrograding. It's going to retrograde back over this spot 3 times. So there's going to be 3 Mars-Pluto oppositions between now and April. And so because Mars will be moving somewhat slowly, being retrograde, and Pluto always moves very slowly, we're going to be feeling this, and really through April. There might be some periods between now and then that we barely feel it, or we don't feel it that much, but yeah, it could get pretty intense between now and then. And so it's important really to be careful about picking fights or starting fights. And sometimes we might say something that we don't think is going to anger someone, but it does. So it's good to walk away from those things before they get out of hand, because they can get out of hand much more than you would ever have expected. And then, well, and especially because this is going on until April. And then on the same day, Mercury in Scorpio, and Pluto, by the way, is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So it really is, part of this Scorpio new moon. And then Mercury in Scorpio will trine Mars and sextile Pluto. So that brings in some positive energy around this Mars-Pluto opposition. And so that means, that maybe with communication or messages, whatever, we might be able to make this a little bit easier, especially if we're careful of the type of communication we are using. But keep in mind that even though this will feel difficult while it's happening, it really is about creating transformation. Also, I wanted to say that the first time that we have this Mars-Pluto opposition, Pluto will be in Capricorn and Mars will be in Cancer. But the other 2 times that we have this opposition, Pluto will be in Aquarius and Mars will be in Leo. So it's going to have a different feel for sure, but it's still kind of this explosive anger, frustration, impatience, or things like that. And of course, the other times that it's in this opposition, we may not have good aspects like Mercury trining Mars and Pluto. So keep in mind, like I said, even though it feels difficult, it really is all about transformation. And I mean, there's something that we need to transform in our life. And the first step to transformation is letting go what doesn't serve us anymore. So that's kind of an important first step. Yeah, so it's good to figure out what you need to let go of. And also deep psychological issues could come up during this time. So it's important to try to process through these and, you know, not to ignore this because it will just keep coming up again and be difficult, more difficult each time if we don't deal with it. We don't bring on the transformation that we need to bring into our lives. So Mercury is in Scorpio at this point, but it will go into Sagittarius too later on. It goes into Sagittarius actually on November 2nd. Um, and Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius. So it's not really happy there, but it still can help us expand our mind, expand our thoughts, but our thoughts can come in a little faster than we want to, but then we can keep up with. So it's good to find a way to quiet your mind or relax. And so there might be a lot of communication now, or there might just be a lot that you have to do. And then Venus in Sagittarius will trine Chiron in Aries on November 5th. And that can help us heal wounds around children or love relationships. When Venus opposes Jupiter on the same day, that can, really help have us feeling happy, feeling exuberant, feeling lucky, feeling hopeful. But it can also, help us to really overdo it. So kind of watch that we don't overspend or overindulge. And then Venus will square Neptune on November 9th. And that can make things a little unclear about relationships or how you see yourself, how others see you, your self-image. And then Venus will go into Capricorn on November 9th. And that can bring pleasure and desire around your career and your finances. Can also, just bring a really positive energy around finances or your career. Then when Mercury squares Saturn November 12th, it can bring, blockages or delay things, especially in regard to home and family. So if you got a project going on at home, it could bring some delays for a few days. And then on the 14th, Venus will square the North Node, and that can bring shortages again or roadblocks around children, love relationships. And on the 14th, Mars will trine the North Node, and that can bring motivation or maybe some bravery or just energy towards children or these relationships too at the same time. So it can help us to, go in the direction that will give us the most joy in life. So it's good to try to use this energy to your benefit. Then on the 15th of November, there will be a Taurus full moon, and typically a Taurus full moon is a grounding, stabilizing energy, but because it is conjunct Uranus, it's probably going to bring sudden changes and surprises around children, love relationships, leisure time. Then the sun will square Neptune on the 18th, and that's going to shine a light on what is hidden or out of control, especially are out of your control. So like things that you don't have control of around your home and family or real estate or parents. And then on the 18th also, Mercury will trine Chiron, and that can help us heal wounds through communication, especially when it comes to children, lovers, or entrepreneurship. Then on November 19th, Pluto will go back into Aquarius, and it will be done with Capricorn for the rest of our life. We will not see it in Capricorn again because it takes Pluto 248 years to go around the zodiac. So it's a very slow moving planet. It's a generational planet. So we will not see it there again in our lifetime. And it has been going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius for a couple years now. We really just have until November 19th to bring about the transformation we need. In the area of finances. And then it will move into the third house for you, which will bring transformation around your neighborhood, siblings, sometimes distant relatives, transportation, or cars. And then on November 19th also, the sun will trine Mars in Cancer, and that's and the sun being in Scorpio still, it will bring a focus to your beliefs, your higher learning, teaching, or travel. Yeah, and it can kind of shine a light there and help us with motivation there as well. Then on November 21st, the sun will sextile Pluto, and that can bring hidden things into the light, especially around siblings, neighbors, automobiles, or transportation. And then on that same day, Venus will sextile Saturn, and that can help us stabilize relationships with family members. Then on the 25th, Mercury will go retrograde in Sagittarius. So that's our sign. So it's going to be retrograding in your first house. So you might feel this a lot. But basically it's going to be in pre-shadow until the 9th, which means when a planet goes retrograde, it looks like it's going backwards to us. So from our perspective, it's not really going backwards, but that's what it looks like. And so when it goes backwards, it will start that on November 25th and go back to where it was on November 9th before it goes direct again on December 15th. So basically, Mercury will go back over where it is between November 25th and November 9th 3 times. And so we are going to have a chance to redo anything that we started then, anything that we've been doing then. And especially regarding your self-image, how people see you, how you see yourself, your physical body. Yeah. And so these are the issues that you're going to have to kind of keep going over for the next month or so. And that's pretty much all I had for the month of November. But if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, please. And you can visit logicalastrology.com. That's my website. And I have weekly readings and monthly readings that are free there. And they can give you like the dates of all these aspects when you'll be feeling them the most. And it has a little more information, I think, about a lot of this stuff. And you can also book a reading with me there. so that I could give you a personal reading, which is going to be a lot more accurate and be able to give a lot more details, because I will be able to see how these things are affecting your birth chart and therefore affecting you differently than everybody else. And so there will be, so I can give you a lot more information if you book a reading with me. And have a great month, and I will see you next month.